Hello and welcome to a new series of Off Track. From now until the start of the season, BSCDA TV will bring you in-depth driver interview, exclusive new car reveals, virtual workshop tours, and we'll catch up with any breaking news where we can. I'm as excited to go racing as you. Fingers crossed that we'll be able to do so soon. Until that time, let BSCDA TV whet your appetite. My name is Jonathan Abbott and this is Off Track 2021. Hello and welcome to part 2 of Off Track 2021 with Dan Johnson. Dan, we have been talking about loads and loads of stuff in part 1, and you've had an incredibly successful career in Briscoe Formula 1, winning a number of the sport's major titles. Which one of those meant the most to you?
I'd probably say the one in Holland, to be fair.
Yeah.
The Venray, the long track. Just because there were that many doubters that I couldn't do it and I wasn't fast enough, you know what I mean? No one thought that I could go and do what I did over there, you know what I mean? And I altered my car completely, and with a week to go, it got no axles under it. I was making completely brand new axles, all different setups and different angles of brackets, and just completely different car. And my dad didn't want me to go, oh, you won't be fast enough. And then I think he realised that actually he is going. There's no that he was going to say or do, or I'd said, I've been there that many years watching that, and I said, the year I go, I want to go. And I'd already been and watched and looked and listened to people and seen what they've done and different. Oh, my screen's come off again. What's up with this one? Can you still see me if my screen goes off?
I can still see you. Yeah. Can you see me?
So I'll just forget about my screen then, yeah?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. I'll just keep doing it if it does. So I altered all my car completely different, and I wanted to go and try my hardest and win. That's what I wanted to do. So I got in my head all the different things that I wanted to do to the car, so I did it.
Yeah.
So then my dad back, he says, right, well, if we're going, we're going. So we altered the clutch, and we all had our aluminium bell housings at the time. We didn't have that. And yeah, just went for it and went out in the first practice session, and I just thought, what have I done? The car, I think Tom nearly lapped me in practice, and it was like, what have we done? But the car was way too tight, middle of the corner, pushing. It was just not drivable, so we brought it back, put a lot of stagger into the car, and straight away in the next practice session, it was good. Yeah, so we just kept on working on it on the Saturday night, and in the final on the Saturday night in Venray, I knew that I come from a long way back, I think I come fourth, and I was happy, and I knew that the car, it had got it in it to do the business, and we knew there was only one person that I needed to get rid of to win, and that was Tom. So I helped. I think it was Catsburg. Catsburg went to Tom, and I put Catsburg actually on Tom's bonnet or a side rail, and took them both out and went on to win. So yeah, I would say that that's the best. That's the most important one that I have won, because I feel like I put that much into it.
Yeah.
And got the rewards. So I would say that naturally it mean a lot to me, but that one's probably the most.
Okay, and not necessarily thinking a major championship win, but is there one moment in your career that really stands out, that sort of beats all others, if you like?
Probably, to be fair, one when I got Rob Speed back at Cobham.
Yeah.
Cobham in the final, I snapped the end of my axle, and literally we just welded the axle wherever it touched.
Yeah.
And then went out and won the Grand National, and it was like that meant a lot because everyone, Rob Speed, he's going to get you back, and they couldn't fix their car,
Yeah.
and we managed to fix ours, so it was a bit of, you know what I mean, cat and mouse. So are they gonna? And we managed to get ours fixed, and then I went on and won the Grand National with a car that were chucked together, falling to bits. But it's still, but I suppose it was me that made the car as good as it did because I wanted to prove that we were fast enough. You know what I mean? We wanted to prove that we've just done what we've done, and we still got the
Yeah.
car out and won. So yeah, that were a race that I really wanted to win. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
did that. Yeah. So that was good. Yeah, it meant a lot to us that race.
And it was at Coventry, which is like, you know, everybody's there, aren't they? Everybody's there watching, and it's that drama that we spoke about in part one. You know, that drama and that excitement that it creates for the crowd, isn't it? By just seeing two guys at the top of the sport just going at each other, and that's what people want to see.
Yeah, definitely. I think the sport needs a bit more of it, but not ridiculous. You know what I mean? Not dangerous. You know what I mean? No one wants to get hurt. You know what I mean? I never wish for any other competitor to get hurt. You know what I mean? I never regret. You know what I mean? I never get over it if someone did. You know what I mean? It's not what I do. I don't do what I do sometimes to hurt someone. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't themselves. I don't care how much you hate someone, or you know what I mean. I wouldn't want. Everyone's got families and kids and stuff. Yeah, I don't. You know what I mean? We do what we do. So as long as people don't start getting hurt in that, I think that it needs a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like lower graders as well. You know what I mean? It's never that you get lower graders really having a feud. You know what I mean? And I think that it just needs a bit of everyone instead of just, I don't know, being on internet with each other and that. And you know, a lot of the younger lads, you know what I mean? They're all pally and they're all on internet and that. I think, yeah, forget that. Just get your crash helmets on and just forget everything. Who you're friends with or who you go well, you can't go nightclub in a row, you know what I mean? Or even go drinking, or you talk to them and you go out for meals, or just forget all that, you know what I mean? It's like me and Stuart's very close, but we won't think, well, we're not going to smash seven bells out of each other, you know what I mean? Because that's what the game is for, you know what I mean? That's what we do it for.
Yeah.
So if not, you might as well go up racing, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I just think that it needs a little bit more people, not nastily, but a bit more contact and how can you put it, a few more fallouts and that. So
Yeah. Okay.
I think
Lovely.
the job, you know, a bit more rivalry between other drivers.
Yeah.
That's what I think the job needs.
So 2021, we'll see. We'll hopefully see a bit more of that. Fingers crossed. Talking of 2021, do you have a preferred surface to race on, and is there a track that's always on your must-do in a season?
When the tracks are right, you know what I mean. Tarmac's a tarmac, aren't they? You know what I mean. But shale, when they get the shale tracks right, they take some beating. You know what I mean. I think like Kings Lynn. I don't agree when they wet it on stoppages, but I've voiced my opinion about that many times, and naturally they have answered them questions, and they've got to do it to keep the track there, because naturally all the dust and that goes on all them fancy lorries and all the industrial estates, and naturally if I've got an industrial estate and lorries and businesses around there all want dust, and come Monday morning and you used to have a red lorry and now it's a brown lorry, you know. I'm very happy. So that got ironed out a little bit, but naturally they are trying to do it where they're doing two rolling laps instead of one straight onto icy wet track where people were getting hurt. So yeah, so there's been a bit of give and take there. So yeah, Kingston is a good track to race at. To be fair, Mildenhall, I like Mildenhall.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little small track that you're sideways and it's a proper stock car man's track. That a bit like Stoke was. You know what I mean? You've got to be able to drive and be a bit rough and ready.
Yeah.
At Mildenhall. So Sheffield, that's not a bad track if you could just master the fence, just do it so it gets more cars there. And when it does go wrong, I think it's not the bends that kill the cars, it's down the straights when cars bounce out the fence. So I think they just sort the straights out. And if they could do something with the fence on the bends, but who knows? I mean, it's one of them. It's a big investment to do when you don't own the track. You know what I mean? So it's a big investment.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We'll come back to Sheffield in a minute. In terms of you've spoken about at the very beginning, you had a car from Peter Folding or cars from Peter Folding. Then you built your own cars. Some of the top drivers are building cars for others now. Have you considered doing something similar?
No. I've all got time to build my own cars. I couldn't see it feasible. And the money that they do it for, a top engineer, the standard of the cars that people are building, like Stuart, Tom, Matt Wilson, all the top lads that are building them, I don't know how they do it for the money. If they charged proper engineering firms hourly rate, it could be 60, 70 grand a car. Do you know what I mean? There's that much time goes into them. Yeah, anyone can just build a normal off-a-jig car, you know what I mean? But a one-off fancy car like Ryan Harrison, you know what I mean? Ryan's cars that he does, you can see why they are the money that they are. If like I spoke to Ryan a few times about it, and if you charge proper engineering labour, you just wouldn't sell them. You know what I mean? So I couldn't see it feasible to do it as a company. I know some do, but they ain't actually that. By the time you sit down, me and Pete's done it many times, and by the time you sit down and how much is in materials, and down to your seat, like seats now, instead of they used to be £250, now they're £1,050. You know what I mean? Everything's changing, but the car prices actually aren't far off what they used to be. You know what I mean? So I just think it's one of those I couldn't. And I won't want to promise someone that I'm building a car and then it would be done for the start of the season and then letting them down, because that's one thing that we don't let people down. And that's so I couldn't promise a date when I'd finished one and the standards. You know what I mean? You've got to put your heart and soul into it. So yeah, I'm just happy if I do build any more myself or I get someone else to build me one. I'm happy at that. I deal with enough customers in the week. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to then having to go around and they've got a problem with the car that I've just built and then they want this rectifying and this isn't right. And I just think that racing's my hobby, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to conflict it with work. We do enough work in a week, you know what I mean? I want to go racing to race and enjoy it. So I wouldn't want it to be I couldn't see it feasible either.
Okay, thank you. And in terms of the rule book when you're constructing a Formula One stock car, it is quite strict. Is there anything you'd like to see changed for the betterment of Formula One stock car racing?
Yeah, I want big side rails, big massive side rails, wheel guards. We're spending more money on wheels, tyres, axles, and for some reason they're going like this with the bumpers. We're getting smaller and smaller with the bumpers. Well, it's a working man's sport-ish.
Yeah.
So we want to try and protect and make them harder. Do you know what I mean? And I know, people are going to get knocked out and stuff like that, but people are anyway. Do you know what I mean? So let's just make, I don't know, more crumble zones in the cars that will crumble. You know what I mean? I just don't know what the thing, but I would rather, I want to see it so we hit the fence, we're not two shockers, a spring, bend the axle, bend all the track arms, bend, it's all time as well in the week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a big job to renew your bumpers and stuff. It's when you start making complete axles and hubs and discs and calipers, you know what I mean? The calipers are expensive now for what they are. So I don't know. I just think that we need to like protect the expensive bits,
Yeah.
so that people aren't scared. It's like anyone can go and get some steel from a steel stockholder, and build some bumpers.
Yeah.
But not everyone can make a big fancy back axle or fancy hubs. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they can't make the shockers. They've got to buy the shockers. So at least if they can rebumper them, I don't know. I just think it needs a bit more protecting the expensive things.
Is that taking a bit more towards the way they race in New Zealand then, with that kind of like almost armouring up the car?
Yeah, I think how can you put it? I just think that it wants to be a little bit, yeah, like New Zealand, and that's why they're not scared of hitting each other in the back wheels. And I don't know, it's just our cars are that vulnerable. A lot of people, they daren't touch each other because they don't know when they're going to be able to get the car repaired and get all the bits back, and afford to get the car back on track. And we want as many cars on track all the time.
Yeah.
So if someone thinks, well, my bumpers are a little bit bent, but I can still go racing, but you can't still go racing when his back axle's bent, his half shaft's snapped, and all his shockers are bent and broke. You know what I mean? So I just think if we could just protect the expensive bits, because that's what costs the money. Bumpers and side rails and a bit of steel here and a bit of steel there don't really cost a lot of money, you know what I mean?
No.
And it's not that time consuming, but when you start having to replace shockers and springs and then you damage your back axle and then it does your prop shaft and then it does your gearbox.
Yeah.
So I just think if we can protect them expensive bits, that's all I think.
Is there not a desire to do that then within the sport, do you think?
Well, we can't do it for the rules, you see.
Okay.
But like V8 hot stops, they and F2s, they have wheel guards. They're not big and hefty, you know what I mean? They're only old springs, you know what I mean? But they're done to protect it because it's just a lower, you know what I mean? A cost-effective formula, you know what I mean? But I just think if we could go a bit more the same, but a bit more heavier duty, I do think that in the long run there'll be more cars on track because people aren't not costing people a fortune when they do it the fence. That's why people won't. A lot of people don't hit each other.
Yeah.
Because they're scared that it's going to cost an absolute fortune. But I suppose if everything's a little bit more armoured up and they protect the bits that matter, you know what I mean, that gets them to tracks, you know what I mean. But yeah, that's where I think that we need to
Brilliant.
look at.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's a great idea. Thank you. We spoke about Sheffield a short while ago, and there's a rumour a while ago that a few years ago that you were looking at Sheffield and looking to get involved at the track. Was that kind of true, or was that just a rumour that was put out there?
Yeah and no. I think my dad and Pete Poland were looking at having a little go doing it, but actually Steve has it, so that won't be possible anyway. But it's something that we would have liked to. But I'll be honest, with this, well, I know at the moment it's hard, but problem is with promoters as well. People don't really see how much money they have invested for what they get out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like Kings Lynn, the amount of money that Buster has got invested in Kings Lynn is absolutely colossal for what he really gets out of it. And there's that much expenses to the job, like a shale track. even down to the water, it costs so much money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then they've got to think, well, we need to hold the water, so we've got to have holding tanks for it. So yeah, I know Coventry Stadium. Many a times he said how much the water was costing them because they had to pay for the water. So
Okay.
on a dusty night, it cost them a fortune.
Yeah.
But people don't realise that, you know what I mean? They just think, oh yeah, the promoters are earning thousands and thousands. And yeah, on the good meetings, they do. But what about the Saturday nights where it's raining or, do you know what I mean? There's a big football match on or something, and people would rather sit at home and watch it on Facebook than and watch the football as well. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think going back to Sheffield, it's something that we did look into, and we would, but we want to own his own track.
Yeah.
Getting the planning permission to build a new track is just they don't. It's not. It's just not happening. Even
Okay.
if you've got more money than sense or you win the lottery, they will not let you just build a stock car track.
Okay.
And the electric job is coming in soon. You know what I mean? That's 10. Like my kids, hopefully it never happens, but there might not be any Formula
Yeah.
One or any oval racing or circuit racing in the next 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? Are they going to want race cars going around polluting the air when you've got electric cars everywhere and trucks and
Yeah.
even diggers now? We're on some sites and they've got electric mini diggers, but then they've got a generator to charge the mini digger up. So it just doesn't.
No,
But
it doesn't make
who
sense.
knows in the future? So would you want to invest all that money and you're not be able to do what you're doing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's dead cert that it's going to last forever, is it? You know what I mean?
No.
But
No.
hopefully it does.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to invest a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, because I've got a good friend who owns Brampton Raceway, and he's
Yeah.
many a time said, come on, let's do it." But as well, the other promoters won't let you in.
Okay.
You know, they won't let you have the dates, so you've got to either buy the dates. So then it's all very political. You know what I mean? So it's not something that I'd be interested in, to be fair.
Okay.
And the right place and the right track came up for sale. Like Robert bought, you know what I mean? He bought Stegner for the dates. He bought the track. Hazel wanted to sell it in, you know what I mean? So it did all fall into place for Robert, you know. So wish Robert every luck with this Corona job.
Yeah.
Don't last too long and he gets back to where he left off, you know what I mean, doing very well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. So I guess, I mean, fingers crossed that stock racing is around for a long time. And in 2021, Bradford is coming back, which is a huge positive for the sport. How do you view the health of the sport at the moment?
I viewed it not very good. I know Dean didn't want us really. I don't know why. I don't know the ins and outs, but Dean he enjoys his bangers, his hot rods and stuff, and Formula Ones have got to make him try and change his mind and let's try and make him want us. You know what I mean? Like when I went to Mildenhall when we had the silly dance off, you know what I mean? He wanted me to dance when I won the final, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. We need to make him want us to come to his tracks, you know what I mean? Let's entertain the crowd and let's make him need us, you know what I mean? It's hard. It's just we need to entertain a little bit more, I would say. But yeah, I think Dean's back. I think if we can be back in with Dean and let's race at his tracks and hopefully, well, Bradford is on its way. I think there's a good future for us all, and hopefully it attracts more people to come and buy Formula Ones. Yeah, and like I said, I think it is looking good.
Yeah.
I just hope Bradford actually works. I think it will. To be fair, hats off to Steve. I don't always agree with everything that he does, but this time I think you've got to hand him to it, hand it to him. And the other people that have been around him helping him with the project. You know what I mean? You've got to hand it to him. He's done a good job. To be fair, I've not seen many people on the internet praise him. I know it's early days, but you've got to hand it to him. He's tried and tried and tried all over these years, and he's just struck that little bit of luck. And hopefully it lasts for years, because that could be the making of Formula One stock cars back to where it used to be. You know what I mean? Where there is thousands and thousands of people, even if they're watching it online. We need to sort it, because this corona might not go away very quick. You know what I mean? It might be here for some years. So we need to think of how we can get us to the tracks, get the cars and the drivers to the tracks, and let's do it so it is online. You know what I mean? Let's do. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many people watch Daytona 500 and the sprint car all online? It were all streamed, but it's streamed very, very good. So people don't mind paying for it. You know what I mean? I think that's where. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what we've just not hit that off. I know Dean's trying it with the hot rods and the bangers, but I think we just need to try and like young people like Jordan. You know what I mean? Get them on board, and why not? Even if we've got to invest in camera crew, or I don't know, let's try and think out the box. And I think that's the way we've got to go with it. I don't think we're going to have a choice, because those tracks aren't going to survive with 1,500 to 2,000, 3,000 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need bums on seats to make the track survive. So I think we need to look into something. You know what I mean? To get that where we can live stream and stuff like that. But naturally, it's got to be where the money goes back into the job. You know what I mean? It's no good everyone, oh yeah, we can do it on Facebook Live and this and that, because that doesn't do the tracks no good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone enjoys it because it's free, but if we say, well, we have 3,000 people watching it online and everyone put £3 in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is £3? You've got no diesel to go and watch, you know what I mean? It's costing you £3 to watch it, but just that £3 or even £5, you know what I mean? It's good live stream. And do you know what I mean? You're getting interactions with the drivers live and different things. I think that that is the way that the job needs to go. But the money needs to go back into either Formula, you know what I mean, into the formulas and the tracks. You know what I mean? It's no good just people watching it live and taking the money out of the job, because the tracks are going to be there. And without the tracks, we've got nowhere to race, and without us, the tracks have got no one to race there, have they? So we all need to help each other.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think that, I think COVID is going to fundamentally change, lots of things in the future. I mean, I work for a leading supermarket, and, we're sort of saying that things that we forecast happening sort of 10, 15 years time is happening now. Due to, everything's kind of been brought forward in terms of how people shop, how people use online. And again, stock cars isn't going to be excluded from that, is it? It's got to kind of embrace, actually, it's going to change. So, no, food for thought, absolutely. So thank you for that. Just, I guess, looking objectively, a bit of a different question. How do you think you're perceived by fellow fans, drivers, spectators?
That depends on who they support, isn't it? I don't know. I'd say probably just a bit happy chap. You know what I mean? I'm one of them. I'm not. I talk to anyone. You know what I mean? I'll offer anyone a bottle of water or pop or beer at the truck. You know what I mean? We're not one of them teams that we won't talk to no one, or you know what I mean? We're just one of them. I don't know. I've got time. I try and make time for anyone. You know what I mean? Yes, you know what I mean. So I'd like to say that they think I'm all right. You know what I mean? Some won't. You can't please everyone, can you, in life? But I'd like to say that I please my fans and people that help me along the way. You know what I mean? So yeah, all right. You know what I mean? It's hard. That is an hard question to answer.
It is. It is a hard question.
I would say that just one of them guys that just goes along with it, and you know what I mean. I wouldn't say I'm big-headed. Some people might say I am, but I say what I think. You know what I mean. I'm one of them. Yeah, sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? Because no one would like me if I told everyone the truth. You know what I mean? I'm just one of them guys. You know what I mean? I do what I want to do, and I won't do something that I feel I don't want to do. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them into things. So yeah, that's about it.
I think throughout this interview, I guess something that's come across to me is that stock cars isn't the be all and end all for you. Is that a fair statement for me to make?
No, definitely not. We still like doing stuff. Like we've got a lot of Highland cows now that my dad enjoys, and we're trying to grow that bit of a herd. You know what I mean? We don't do it really for business because it's, you know what I mean, we're only playing at it at the time being. So we enjoy doing stuff around the farm. Yeah, and just the kids love the farm bits, and I think if you were only interested in Formula One stock cars, you know what I mean, what do you do when you stop doing it? You know what I mean? In years to come, when you're too old, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think it's like footballers, isn't it? You know what I mean? When that's all they do.
Yeah.
A bit off the train track, don't we? You know what I mean? I think you've got to don't just stick to one thing. Do a little bit of, and I like the family time. You know what I mean? Sometimes we like just sat on the sofa watching films with the kids. You know, in front of log fire, more than anything. You know what I mean? Or on a nice summer night, just have a barbecue or something. But racing does mean a lot. You know what I mean to us, but it isn't everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it stopped tomorrow, we'd be upset. You know what I mean? But we have got other things to do. You know what I mean? But everyone, you know, a lot of people, it's not everything to them, but it means a lot. And like when I was going to pack up, we realised what we was going to lose.
Yeah.
So that's why we ended up deciding, well, if we lose, we don't want to not do it at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know how people they do it week in, week out, you know what I mean, and don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we are going to do more. We're going to try and do a little bit more than what we have done. If we feel we want to go more often, we will.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. So when you sat on the sofa, when you're not at a stock car meeting, what are you watching on TV?
Can't really answer that question, to be honest. No, kids are there, so no. It would be probably Paw Patrol, something like that. No, kids love that.
Do you have a favourite? Who's your favourite in Paw Patrol?
Rubble.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see why you've gone there. Yeah.
Yeah, Rubble, Diggers, and all that yellow dig stuff. That's they like The Voice and X Factor. Just general stuff. We don't really. Jordan's laughing, but no, we don't really. We like documentaries and stuff. We're not one of them. We're not really. Well, we don't get a chance to watch Coronation Street and EastEnders and stuff like that. Because the time we've had us two and so many kids out of that, it's always a bit late. Like. So yeah, so I would say just normal, whatever's on, we sat and we watched it. You know what I mean? We're not like we need to watch this, but we don't watch much racing on telly. You know what I mean? We're not big NASCAR fans or sprint cars. I'll watch it on YouTube or stuff like that, or live streams, but not really to. It's not like, oh, we're not going to go out for a meal tonight because there's a TV program on. You know what I mean?
So we can't go on holiday as well at the moment, as well as we can't go racing. So when we can go on holiday, where are you guys off to? Where's your ideal destination?
It depends when we can go, because we've got a few things booked, but it's when we can do it. Me and Faye we're going to Italy. So yeah, we've got that, and then we're going with the Nichols, Ed Nichol, and the Smiths family, Stuart, with the kids somewhere at Christmas, but I can't tell you because it'll spoil it all for the kids because it's all
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's plenty of snow and ice there, so yeah, that'll probably tell you where we're going. So that hopefully we can go there this coming Christmas. So yeah, so that's where we've got planned, Italy. And then if we fit anything else in, but I'm busy with my new company that I've set up. So really that steadies up a little bit near Christmas time and December. So we'll probably go somewhere back end of the year if we're going anywhere. And hopefully racing starts up a little bit, so we'll be busy.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it does.
I don't think we'll be going to Scotland or Holland this year. That is for certain.
No spoilers on the fixtures.
Yeah, no, I don't think we'll be going there. But do we need to go there? I think we've got good enough tracks back here, haven't we? So
yeah.
Right.
Okay. And so we last raced. You last raced in 2019. Are you itching to get back? Are you really kind of quite keen to get back on the track?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I won't say I'm just a bit worried if I've lost my touch. It's been that long. So yeah, just a bit. I just want to get. It's just for this with this COVID and that, and just some of the. There's nothing to do. All it seems to be at the moment is work. Not that we need to, but just because there's nothing really else to do. You know what I mean? So, like many people, I know a lot of people that I know, they've got more money than if they're lucky enough to work, because a lot of people aren't. But if they are, they're doing more shifts than that than they normally do. There's nothing else to do. You know what I mean? And people are picking all different jobs up that they never really thought they would do. Like I know a lot of people that are delivering in the vans, you know what I mean, for Amazon and things like that. And they'd never dream of doing that. And to be fair, they are doing all right with it. So yeah, I think it's just in times like this, you've just got to be willing to do anything, haven't you? You know what I mean? And it's just a change of life, and it's a change of way of life for us all, isn't it? That's what we've got to do. You know what I mean?
So you've mentioned as we've gone through around sort of 2021 and hopefully we're back racing and having a more concentrated effort on that. Is there plan to go with your cars that you've raced in 2019 and sort of just get them ready and go with those?
Yeah, it's just one of those. We just don't know what direction we're going to go in, do we? You know what I mean? We're all the same. It's all right building all these fancy cars and that, but are we gonna be able to go racing? Who knows? You know what I mean? We've still not had any relaxation of the rules, and what are we going to be able to do? So I just think we're just happy running the cars that we've got. And then if we decide, well, we'll chop them to bits or do something different, or we have a new car, we'll think about that in the future. But I don't feel confident in spending a lot of money on new cars, engines, and stuff for them to just sit in the garage. You know what I mean? I'd rather spend that money on other things. So yeah, I just think until we know what's happening, there's a bit more stability to the job. I just think that we're happy with the two cars.
Yeah.
We have been going through them and making them better. You know what I mean? Through, like some of the stuff, like the maintenance that, like even for the World Final in 2019, kicked myself. You know what I mean? Because we were rushing around. My dad wasn't well, family problems and bits, and I kicked myself because we'd gone to a World Final and car wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? Car shouldn't have been on a world final grid. And I kicked myself really, and you know what I mean? I just think that the car should have been a lot better and prepared a lot better, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? So, but that's not going to happen again. You know what I mean? I will make sure I'm going to spend more time and look at find the details in the car instead of making them look pretty and bumpers are all nice and shiny. Make them actually the bits that matter. They're doing properly. I mean, that's what we're going to do.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. It's a really sensible outlook, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. Dan, it's been brilliant talking to you. My final question: ask everybody that we talked to you on Off Track. Who are your top 3 drivers of all time?
A bit of a tough one really, because naturally a few people, like a lot of people, have been saying Stuart Smith. Do you know what I mean? The old Stuart Smith. There's that many like old school drivers, but I feel I can't say them because I've never seen them race. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, videos and stuff, but people that I've watched is like your John Lund. I would say John is a very good friend of mine. Probably not on track, because I think he actually owes me one. Stoke. So John, I would say John, good family friend. And naturally, there's Andrew Smith, Stuart, Frankie, Rob Speed, Pete. There's that many. I can't really say. I'd go back to saying at Sheffield for the Dash for the Cash.
Yeah.
In my eyes, that were the best bit of stock car racing. Do you know what I mean? Where Andrew and Frank and John and Robert and other drivers, I can't really say a top 3. There's that many. And they are people that I remember watching as a kid, you know what I mean? They were my era of watching from the grandstands, you know what I mean? And
so, when you were watching as a kid, or as a young adult, did you kind of think, I want to be John Lund, or I want to be Andrew Smith? Did you have that aspiration in your mind, or was it just I want to be a stock car driver?
I wanted to be better. No, yeah, seriously. No, well, you do, don't you? As a kid, you never believe that you actually do what they was doing. You know what I mean? And they're still doing it. Like I don't know how Frank does what he does. You know what I mean? Still, and John. You know what I mean? I know John hasn't raced much, but when he comes out, you know what I mean? I just don't know how they can be bothered still to do what they do. I mean, they've done it all them years. Surely they must think on a night or on a Saturday afternoon. Well, surely we'd be better off going out for a nice meal than spending his money doing that, or instead of doing it and shale in your eyes and hurting yourself, and then you've got to get up early. You know what I mean? Like you get late back on a Sunday, and then you're up early Monday back to work, and just think surely them lads like Andrew Smith has thought, well, but I guarantee that Andrew is thinking Bradford. Andrew Smith will be thinking now, he'll be thinking, oh, I can just see him be sat there when he's seen Bradford pictures of the track, and they'll bring back memories, won't it? And I bet he'll be thinking, should I, shouldn't I, you know what I mean? So
what do you think he should do?
Come back, so I owe him.
Okay.
I do owe Andrew Smith. He knocked me out at Coventry. It was really wet on a Saturday night, and something about I spun him out or something at Skegness or something like that. Anyway, and in his eyes, he owed me, and he didn't knock me out, but I was a bit dazed, and I could walk back at car and back axle and everything. I still owe him. So yeah, if he comes out, like, no, that's only a joke, really. Like, but now, but like Andrew, you know what I mean? He's one of them that never really, you know what I mean? He never used to moan, you know what I mean? He used to just get on with it. And yeah, it'd be good. It would be good to have it. Well, if you could have us all back, you know what I mean? Back to the good times, you know what I mean? Me, Andy, Soda, you know what I mean? Nigel, all the top lads, you know what I mean? The last 3 years, really, we've done a few meetings, then we haven't really done the meet. You know, if we could just get everyone back, with a bang, and like if Stuart and Andrew and all, you know what I mean? I just think if you could have a fielder, them top 15, super, them proper Reds and superstars who, like, used to look at the grid at Coventry. They used to be at the back, and there used to be a full straight of Reds and superstars. Do you know what I mean? And that were a race on its own.
Yeah.
Forget all the blues, yellows, and white, and you know what I mean. That was just a race to get to the front of the race. And it were if you come first red in a heat or a final at Coventry, you know what I mean. And when forget Coventry, because I know it's gone and everyone says, oh, Coventry this and that, but it's mainly the drivers made Coventry, you know what I mean. So I think if we could just get that bunch back, or even bring some of the younger lads, you know what I mean. The younger lads are coming, you know what I mean. There's some good talent that's coming through, and I just think that it's going to be. I think once it does come, when we do come back, and forget the Corona, you know what I mean. If we can raise, let's look at the live stream job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Jordan's looking at pound signs, I can see him there.
Shaking his head.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I just think if we can master that and let's entertain a bit, you know what I mean. And I think that there's a healthy future for Formula One.
There is, I think there is, because you've got that established group of superstar drivers, of which you're in there, and you've got this kind of like young group of drivers coming in who are going to want to be knocking on your door and going, I want a bit of that. And it's like it's a perfect equation, isn't it? And it just needs to get back racing and let it all happen.
Yeah, I just think the younger guys, going back to that like in a Facebook thing, you know what I mean? They're all a bit pally and stuff like that. Forget all that. You know what I mean? Just get on with it and start using bumpers a little bit, even if it is on the good lads, you know what I mean? And the top lads, just start using your bumpers. But if it does come back, don't start moaning, you know what I mean? But that is what stock cars has always been about, you know what I mean? That's like why Andrew did do me, because if I did, you know what I mean, I thought, oh, and I've tripped him up or spun him out or something like that, and he's thought, no, you're not messing me about. So he stuck me in the fence, you know what I mean, and that is what stock cars is all about. So yeah, I think there's a good healthy future for Formula One.
Dan, it's a fantastic place to end our interview. I've loved talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Before we go, anything you'd like to add?
Not a lot really. I just hope everyone stays safe, and naturally Formula One, well, stock cars and any oval racing. That's a minority of what's happening in the world. You know what I mean? So I just think everyone needs to just stay safe, and hopefully everyone has good health.
Brilliant, Dan. Thank you so much for your time tonight, and hopefully we'll see you at a stock car track very soon. And you need to figure out your list as well of who owes you and who you owe, because like that seems to be ongoing throughout this interview. You need to get that sort of written down on some paper or something.
We've already got it written
Okay.
down.
Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you.